If you're moving to Mexico, there are some things that you need to learn to live without or bring down with you. I'm Brighton, and this is my wife, Kat, and we are going to talk in this video about the top 10 things that we missed down in Mexico.
So we live in La Paz, Mexico, which is in Baja California Sur, about 5-6 months of the year. We live the other 5-6 months in Portland. And it's summer right now. We're getting prepared to go down to La Paz again, and so we are headed to Target to go shopping.
So there are no Targets in Mexico, which is why my sister-in-law really cannot live there. But there are Walmarts and Sam's Club and Costco's, and most of the major supermarkets are kind of more like a Target in terms of they're gonna have automotive and toys and clothing and outdoor goods, but they're not gonna have the things that are on our list. So let's go ahead and check and see if Target has everything that's on our list, or if we find some things that we might have missed inside Target. Head on with me. So this list comes from not only our experience, but also our friends' experience, and from the Facebook group Expats in Mexico, which is a wonderful resource.
So the number one thing that we couldn't find that we wanted that we can't live without, good cookies.
Another thing that was missing is good chocolate, like you can find in the US. So like Mr Goodbar's, maybe not the best chocolate, but chocolate is American style chocolate, hard to find in Mexico. So probably my number one thing that I missed were Triscuits. And yes, and I want to just acknowledge here that we are being very American with the selection that we have in America. They have wonderful, wonderful food down in Mexico, but there's just some things that you might miss from being in America, and Triscuits are definitely one of those things. If you've got friends in Mexico and you can fit a couple of boxes in your luggage, bring them down, they'll be very happy. So my wife and I like to have coffee/tea by the beach every morning, and there are wonderful options for coffee down in Mexico, but black tea, not so much. Really hard to find specifically black tea. There is a lot of herbal tea and a lot of apple tea, a number of green teas, but black tea can be really hard to find. And also a lot of folks on the Mexico forum said specifically Tazo chai tea, couldn't find it. Very specific they were, a number of people very specific about the brand Tazo.
So we have an amazing kitchen in Mexico, and we were having just a fun time baking and using all of the Mexican ingredients. But what I did find is that like baking is not maybe a huge thing in Mexico. And so some of the spices and some of the extracts were really hard to find. So we're definitely going to take some of this down with us.
One particular seasoning that you will not find is taco seasoning. They make their own. So adding something to our list here, dog beds for big dogs. So we have a golden retriever. Most of the dog beds down in Mexico in the stores were for small dogs. And just a note, we'll be making another video about things that were harder to find. This video is more about the things that were really, really difficult to find. But we'll be making a second video about things that are hard to find or really a lot more expensive, including dog food. One thing that we found an awful lot of in Mexican stores were cleaning supplies. So the aisles of cleaning supplies and laundry, detergents and whatnot, much bigger than what we're seeing here at Target.
So not surprisingly, there are lots of hair color and hair products for darker hair in Mexico. But if you have fair hair, nothing. And so you have to bring it along with you. The same with makeup. Makeup is really expensive in Mexico. And so I have to bring my gray eyeshadow for blue eyes with me because it's just not to be found down there. So also on the Facebook forums, there were a lot of comments about if you're black, you should bring your own hair products as well.
So this isn't something that I noticed, but a lot of people on the Facebook forum talked about vitamins and how hard it was to find vitamins in Mexico. Also, same thing if you take supplements, make sure you bring those with you. So if you are a bigger person, like you wear size 13 shoes or bigger clothes, those can be really hard to find in Mexico too, so be sure to bring those with you. I just really like the Targets that have 2 stories and a little escalator for carts. So here's something that has nothing to do with Mexico. It's just about shopping at Target. This is something my father taught me. Always go down the end of the aisles that have the clearance racks on.
So another thing that we saw on the forums that can be really challenging is finding good quality linens for your bed, and then towels for your bath. So if you like soft, something to think about. One other thing is that the bed sizes in Mexico are just a little bit different. And so, you know, you can bring down sheets from the United States and it should work. They may not be quite as snug as you're used to, but it should work.
So I just saw electronics back there, but that's going to be in the other video about things that are more expensive in Mexico. So one more unrelated thing I wanted to mention is that just like Oregon, who has no sales tax, the prices in Mexico, whatever's on the tag or on the shelf, is what you're going to pay at the checkout, because the tax is included in the price, which just makes things so much more simple. I just love doing extra quick asides. One thing that I found in Mexico, and maybe this is a Baja California Sur thing, but maybe it's across all of Mexico, is no bags in the grocery store. You need to bring your own bags, or just put everything back in your cart and take it out to your car. I'm not sure why we don't just do that in the United States when we forget our reusable bags, but we always put it in paper or plastic. So we found everything on our list that we thought we would find, and there's one more thing on our list of things that you cannot buy in Mexico, and that's guns. Not that we are gun people, but there's only one store in Mexico where you can buy a gun, and definitely do not bring your gun from home. You get caught doing that across the border. No.
There is amazing food and amazing products in Mexico. You're gonna have like the best adventure of your life. However, every once in a while you want something from home, and that's what this list is all about.
You can also get a lot of stuff on Amazon shipped into Mexico. Often it's going to be more expensive. There's going to be a lot of tax on it added at the border, and there's not really 2-day shipping. There is something, amazon.co.mx. We found usually the prices there were just a little bit too high. So I actually put together a list of everything that I had shipped down to Mexico onto an Amazon list on my storefront. So if you want to see that for some reason, you can check it out. There's a link down below. And before I tell you the one last thing that you cannot get in Mexico, I'm going to do my quick lesson. So the lesson is a Spanish lesson, and that is the words estoy buscando. I am looking for. So you could be buscando cerveza or margaritas or TRISCUITS, but it's a great way to tell people what you're looking for in a store. Estoy buscando. So what's that last thing in the United States that you cannot get down in Mexico? It's TV from the United States, but I've got a video about how you can do that up here. Check that out next.